This week in the Premier League, Spurs get ready to face Brighton despite having lost 8 of their first team players. That's 9. This week in the Premier League, Spurs get ready to face Brighton despite having lost 8 of their first team players. That is 8. Chelsea, Liverpool and Man City continue to scrap for top spot, and can Wolves capitalise off of Phil Foden's injury? Of course not. Pep is like 3 different starting 11s. Be sure to stick around for all the latest Premier League match news and predictions. But first off, let's start with the most controversial of these. A quick note, I wrote all this before the game was postponed. It was literally postponed about an hour ago, so I'm not changing any of this. You're gonna stick with it. But I'm saying that Brighton and Hove Albion are set to take on Tottenham Hotspur at the Amex, but will this game actually go ahead? No, but I put that as a question, and I guess now I'm answering the question for you as well. Spurs manager Antonio Conte has confirmed that at least 13 cases of COVID-19 were picked up. They're all picked up on the routine lateral flow tests that they have to do. This was among the staff and also including 8 first team players. So in case math isn't your strong point, you normally travel to an away game with about 20-25 players, and so 8 is almost half. It's really not close to half. I'm not the best at math. I'm going to say it's half. Either way, that's a decent problem. The North London team were able to get their Europa League game postponed, which was supposed to be being played on Thursday, but when it comes to Premier League, they're done on a case-by-case basis. I think Man City and Fulham got some taken off last year, or postponed last year. Will we know if this one's going to be postponed? We do know it's been postponed. Really, reading the script in hindsight, now that it has been postponed, yeah, it's been postponed. Despite it looking likely, it is likely because it's certain that the game won't be going ahead. If it does, which it isn't, I would have gone with a 1-1 draw based on prior results, although this is heavily dependent on what Spurs players are available. Well, none of them are available because none of them are going to the game because it's cancelled. What was I thinking? Moving on from our past tense shenanigans, we have Southampton taking on Arsenal at the Emirates. These two teams last faced each other in the league during January of this year. Arsenal won with a 3-1 win. Southampton currently have 0 wins away at the Emirates, whereas Arsenal have 15 wins at home against the Southampton side, so it doesn't look ideal for the visitors. You've got to excuse me, it is way too hot in this room, I'm dying, but despite that, guess who else is dying? That doesn't really fit. Either way, looking further back at the all 44 meetings between Southampton and Arsenal, Southampton have only managed to win 7 and tie 13. So although maybe the Gunners have been put off form by their last 2 games, a reminder for those who can't remember, this was a 2-1 loss to Everton. Oh, that Demarai Gray goal was insane, and also a 3-2 loss to United. But I haven't lost total faith in the Gunners. I have, but still I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for them. Brentford are taking on Watford at the Brentford Community Stadium. What a cool name for a stadium. I hope it's community based, and I also think it's in Brentford. Decent name. Brentford have not been promoted since 2 years after World War II. Don't fact check that. If you do, I think you'll find it's right, because I googled it. Look at me. So there's no recent stats for them having played together in the Premier League. Championship, why would I look at the Championship? I mean, that's extra work, I don't like to do that. Either way, Brentford are coming off of a 2-2 tie with Leeds United, whereas Watford previously endured a 3-1 loss to Man City. Squad news for Watford, freaking legend Ben Foster's out with a groin injury, but Joshua King has been on great form, and there's always a chance that he can be the difference between the 2 teams. Over on the other bench, all is normal for the Bees, with no injuries or absences that have been reported, although Ivan Toney has tested positive for COVID-19. Considering all this for Brentford and Watford, I'm going to go with a 2-2 tie. I think they're going to be pretty decently evenly matched. We'll see what's going to go on, I think, because they're going to be playing a 4-1-4-1 and a 3-5-2, Watford and Brentford respectively, so it should be a decent watch. Hopping on over to the Etihad, Man City go up against Wolves, which is the league match that the home team haven't lost since 2019. Wolves have 2 losses, 2 draws and 1 win in the last 5 games, whereas City have been victorious in all of the last 5 games. One issue for City though is the absence of forward Phil Foden, who's currently sidelined due to an ankle injury that he got during the Champions League defeat against Leipzig. A loss here for City would be a big issue for their title dreams, but given that they have at least 2 starting 11s, I think they'll be fine. Probably going to snatch like a 3-1 win, that's what I'm going to go with. At Stamford Bridge, Leeds United will be challenging Chelsea's title dreams as well, where a loss would be detrimental, but given what the Blues have been up to recently, I don't see that happening. A win for Chelsea would be their 5th consecutive positive result, and the chances of this happening are pretty high considering Leeds have only won 2 of their last 32 away games. One thing that I'll be looking for is if manager Tuchel has been able to prevent the occurrence of the slip-ups that have plagued Chelsea's recent games, although given that I'm predicting that Chelsea will take the win. By how much? Well, it could be a lot, but I'll settle for a 3-1 for Chelsea. It's been a few hours, I just had some dinner. Well, I had a chocolate, it's not really dinner. I changed shirts, so that's why I'm back. Either way, Also, Anfield will be hosting Liverpool's clash with Aston Villa, which again has the possibility to significantly hinder Liverpool's title chances. Villa topping the Scousers is pretty unlikely. I think Villa have 6 away wins against Liverpool. I'm reading right off the script, I'm not good at this yet, so you can't stop there. Villa have 6 away wins against Liverpool under the belt, whilst Liverpool have accumulated roughly half of their 29 wins against Aston Villa at Anfield, so that's at home. But can we turn an eye on Villa's monstrous 7-2 win, which happened just over a year ago? Yes, I think we can. 3-0 to Liverpool, take it or leave it. They have my confidence. I don't see you topping them. Ralph Rangnick has his first away game again, managing the Reds, heading to Carrow Road to take on Norwich. It should be a nice ease back into the league after United's midweek game against Young Boys, where Rangnick played the young ones. One thing I am interested is what changes Ralph will make after the midweek game where he tried out youngsters, as I said. Maybe we'll see a start for Donny alongside Fred. Maybe Elanga will be a late time substitute for Ronaldo, who I assume will start. Either way, I'm guessing a big win for United, despite Wan-Bissaka's new injury, as Delo is really showing himself again, so I don't see any of the backline being a problem. I think 4-0 to United, ballsy, but I think De Gea's going to keep another clean sheet. Burnley, West Ham and Leicester, Newcastle, both not extremely exciting. Another loss for Newcastle or Burnley would send them even deeper into the relegation zone. West Ham have been notably on form under Moyes currently, especially against stronger sides, so I think a 2-1 win for them. Leicester haven't been the best recently, but definitely better than their opponents, so another 1-0 for them. This leaves us with Everton going away to Crystal Palace. After Gray's stunning equaliser against Arsenal last week, I'm very interested to see whether Everton can begin to redeem themselves. I also feel like this could be one of the final matches for Rafa Benitez, especially if his team take the L at Selhurst Park. But I'm going to throw my prediction the other way. I think Everton might just snag the win with a 3-2 scoreline. I think it'll be a decently high scoring game. That is all for this game week's news and predictions. Make sure you hit that little bell, like notification bell, so you get bombarded with annoying messages and notifications every time I upload. See ya.